power, loyalty, and danger. These three things are about to collide once again. As the shadows tighten around Madame and her empire, one question rises above everything else. Who will survive the next chapter? The world of all the Queen's men is heating up, and Season 5 promises to strike harder than ever before. The energy around All the Queen's Men Season 5 is impossible to ignore. Fans everywhere are waiting, hungry for answers. Because the end of Season 4 didn't just leave us with questions, it left us with fire. The kind of fire that burns in the background long after the credits fade. The kind that makes you think about every betrayal, every threat, every secret that still sits in the dark waiting to explode. And now, as Season 5 whispers its approach, the tension surrounding Madame and her world feels heavier, sharper, and more dangerous than ever. Season 4 ended on a note that wasn't just shocking, it was chilling. Relationships were shaken, alliances were tested, and enemies both known and hidden started to rise with new ambition. Madame stood tall, but even a queen can sense when the ground beneath her throne begins to crack. She built her kingdom on sweat, fear, beauty, and power, but this kingdom has never been safe. There has always been someone watching, someone waiting, someone ready to strike. And in Season 5, it feels like all those shadows are moving closer. The club's lights still flash bright, but behind the glamour sits danger that refuses to rest. Every deal Madame made in the past now returns with a new price. Every decision she took to protect her empire now reveals a new threat. This is not just another season. This is the calm before a storm big enough to tear her world apart. And fans know it. Viewers can feel it in the way characters look at each other, in the words they don't say, in the mysteries they keep locked behind cold eyes and half-truths. Season 5 is being shaped by everything that came before it. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will remain untouched. People close to Madame are starting to drift. Some are wounded. Some are angry. Some are planning moves they haven't dared to reveal. And somewhere in the background, a new enemy is rising, someone who has been studying her, learning her weaknesses, waiting for their moment to strike. The world she controls with strength and fear is now showing cracks. And these cracks are pulling everyone in. But that's exactly why the anticipation for Season 5 is so intense. This is a world where loyalty comes with a knife hidden in the dark, where friendship can turn into betrayal with a single whisper, where power isn't just something you fight for, it's something you bleed for. Madame knows that better than anyone. And if Season 5 brings the war that everyone expects, she will need to fight harder than she ever has before. As fans wait, the tension only grows, because Season 5 isn't just about what happens next, it's about who rises, who falls, and who walks away with the crown when the dust finally settles. Season 4 didn't just entertain viewers, it shook them. It pulled everyone into a world where nothing was stable, and no one could be trusted. Every episode carried a new twist, a new danger, and a new reminder that Madame's throne may look strong, but the enemies around her are even stronger. Her victories came with scars, and every decision she made left a mark on someone close to her. Season 4 felt like a long, slow walk through a hallway filled with secrets, and every door that opened only revealed more trouble. Madame stood at the center of everything, powerful and fearless, but even she began to feel the walls closing in. She fought battles on all sides, inside the club, outside the club, and even within herself. Her empire grew, but with growth came more eyes watching her, and more hands trying to tear it all away. The tension built with every argument, every late-night deal, every heated moment where you could almost feel the future shifting. The world she created was growing too big to control, and Season 4 showed that power always comes with a price. Characters who once stood by her side started to question their roles. Some felt ignored, some felt betrayed, some wanted more for themselves, and others wanted revenge. Small cracks began to show in her circle, cracks that soon turned into deep lines of division. It was impossible to tell who was loyal and who was waiting for the right moment to switch sides. The club might have seemed full of bright lights and music, but behind every smile was fear, or ambition. Then there were the threats that rose quietly, the ones no one saw coming. Dangerous figures stepped out of the shadows, each with their own plan, their own history, their own anger. They weren't just attacking Madame's business, they were coming for her throne, her influence, and her name. Season 4 brought out enemies who were not afraid to create chaos, and they didn't care who got hurt in the process. They wanted power, and they wanted it fast. The battles Madame faced were not simple fights. They were wars that tested her strength, her mind, and her patience. And yet, even in the middle of all this danger, Madame pushed forward. She took risks that scared everyone around her. She made choices that could have destroyed everything she built. But she did it because she believed in her own fire, her own strategy, and her own ability to win. Season 4 showed that Madam is not just a leader, she is a survivor. She does not break. She does not bend. When she is pushed, she pushes back even harder. But that final stretch of season 4, that was the moment everything reached its peak. Secrets exploded, truths were revealed, and Madam found herself standing at the edge of a new battlefield. The empire she built was no longer stable, the people she trusted were no longer predictable, and the dangers around her were no longer in the shadows, they were right in front of her, ready to strike. By the time the season ended, fans were left stunned. The storyline didn't slowly wrap up, it snapped, leaving viewers with a sense of urgency, tension, and fear for what comes next. Every loose thread, every unfinished moment, every wild cliffhanger, it all felt like a warning of the storm coming in Season 5. Season 4 didn't just set up the next chapter, it launched it, and now, everything Madam has built is standing on the edge of collapse, or the edge of becoming stronger than ever. It all depends on who stands with her, who turns against her, and who dares to challenge her next. Season 5 hangs in the air like a secret everyone is trying to reach for but no one can fully touch yet. The energy surrounding it is different, quiet but powerful, like a storm building far away, giving small hints before it finally arrives. Fans keep asking the same question over and over. Is Season 5 confirmed? And the truth is, every sign from the cast, the creators, and the platform points toward one clear direction: Season 5 is coming, and it's coming with weight. For months, viewers watched social media closely, searching for clues. A short message from one cast member, a behind-the-scenes photo someone posted without thinking, a comment that seemed harmless but suddenly sparked theories everywhere. These small pieces of information became fuel, proof that something was moving behind the curtain. Production teams don't speak loudly, but they speak in patterns. They disappear before filming. They reappear when something big is about to happen. And lately, the silence has felt like the kind that comes right before action. Industry insiders have hinted that the team behind the show has been laying out storylines that extend far beyond the last season. Writers have been building a world that still has chapters left to explore, characters with unfinished paths, conflicts that never got full closure. And Madam's story, it's far from over. The world she rules is too unstable, too loud, and too dangerous to end at Season 4. Something darker is forming for Season 5. And the people who create the show know it. They can feel the hunger from the fans, and they understand that the story can still dig deeper. Another strong sign comes from the way the cast interacts with the fans. They don't speak directly about renewal, but they drop hints, teasing lines like "big things ahead" or "Madam's not done yet." Some actors have even been seen returning to training, reshaping their bodies and preparing for physically demanding scenes. Others have been posting in locations familiar to the show's setting. Every small movement becomes another clue, another whisper that production is quietly preparing for its next step. The platform carrying the show has also shown strong confidence. Viewership numbers climbed with every season. Discussions online only get louder. People binge the show again and again, trying to read deeper into the characters and predict what happens next. This kind of attention is something studios do not ignore. Shows with this level of heat rarely stop, they evolve. They grow. They sharpen their storylines to keep that fire alive. And All the Queen's Men has that exact kind of fire burning around it. Season 5's status almost feels like an open secret. Everyone knows it's coming, even if the official word hasn't been delivered in a dramatic announcement yet. But sometimes, silence is the biggest sign. When a show ends, you feel it. Things slow down. Actors move on. The creators shift their focus. But here, the opposite is happening. People connected to the show keep dropping breadcrumbs, small but meaningful, enough to feed the fans, enough to suggest that the world of Madam is about to expand again. Behind the scenes, story outlines are believed to be shaping up. Writers are rumored to be exploring darker themes, deeper character motives, and twists that push the show into new territory. They know the stakes must rise. They know fans expect something bigger, bolder, and more intense. And Season 5 is the perfect moment to lift the story into a whole new level of chaos and drama. Even production whispers say that the schedule is lining up with the same timing the show has followed in the past. That alone tells a story. Rhythm matters in television, and All the Queen's Men has always kept a steady pulse. Season 5 is keeping that pulse alive, quietly, strongly, and with purpose. So while fans wait for the official confirmation, the truth is already clear. Season 5 is not just possible, it is almost inevitable. The world is preparing. The cast is preparing. The story is preparing. Madame's empire is ready for the next chapter. And all signs point toward a season that will change everything. Trying to predict the release date of All the Queen's Men season 5 feels like trying to read a message hidden in smoke. Nothing is confirmed, but everything leaves a clue. The show has a rhythm, a pattern that has guided every season before this one, and fans have become experts in reading those patterns. Season after season, the timing has followed a similar cycle. Filming signs appear, cast behavior shifts, the production goes quiet, and then suddenly a date drops that sets the entire fanbase on fire. And right now, all those early signs are starting to appear again. The truth is, shows like this do not rush. Drama of this scale needs planning, writing, rehearsing, and scenes that take emotional and physical energy from the cast. So when viewers ask, when will season 5 come out? The real answer begins with understanding how long it takes to create a world as intense as Madame's. Season 4 took time to build, and season 5 will be no different. The writers need space to weave new storylines, add new enemies, and shape the emotional damage left over from last season. Production teams need to prepare sets, finalize casting, and craft scenes that feel real and powerful. Everything takes careful time. If we look back, the previous seasons followed a cycle that repeated almost like clockwork. Seasons usually dropped close to late summer or early fall, right when the heat outside mirrors the heat inside Madame's world. It's the perfect time for drama, tension, and cliffhangers to return. And based on this pattern, fans believe season 5 will aim for the same release windows somewhere between late summer and early fall of the coming year. It lines up with the industry's usual production timeline, and it aligns perfectly with how the creators like to release new chapters of the story. Nothing official has been announced yet, but the pieces fit together too smoothly to ignore. There's another clue in the silence. When a show is cancelled, the silence feels different: cold, empty, final. But the silence around All the Queen's Men right now feels warm and active, like something is happening behind closed doors. Cast members are being careful about what they share. Production-linked accounts are staying quiet in ways they only do when something is in motion. And fans know this behavior well. It's the same type of silence that came before earlier seasons. The same type of silence that signals that filming or pre-production may be starting soon. Silence can be a signal, and in this case, it feels like a countdown. Another big clue comes from the show's rising popularity. When a series keeps gaining viewers every season, networks rarely delay new content. They want to keep the audience hooked while the excitement is high. Season 4 sparked new conversations, new theories, and new waves of fans who just discovered the show. The demand for season 5 is strong, and industry logic says the creators will want to deliver while the momentum is powerful. That makes a late summer release window even more likely, because it gives the team enough time to prepare while still keeping the buzz alive. We also have to look at production pacing. Filming for a show like this usually stretches across a few months, followed by editing and finishing work. If casting signs and behind-the-scenes hints are appearing now, it suggests that filming could begin soon or may have already begun quietly. If filming starts early in the year or mid-year, the season can be polished in time for a release in the second half of the year. It's a timeline that fits perfectly with the show's history and the industry's typical schedule. Fans should also remember that the creators of All the Queen's Men love dramatic timing. They don't drop dates too early. They wait until the excitement reaches its peak. They enjoy watching theories grow, watching fans guess, watching the internet build tension on its own. And then right when the moment is perfect, they make the announcement that everyone has been waiting for. It's part of the show's style, part of its identity. So while no official release date has been revealed yet, all signs point to season 5 arriving in a window that matches the show's tradition. A window full of heat, intensity, and drama, just like Madame's world itself. Late summer, early fall, a time when everything shifts, and the next chapter of the empire begins. And when that date finally drops, fans will feel it like a shockwave, because season 5 is set to change everything.